This is your girl Lisa Nicole, and I am hanging out with Female Boss Incorporated.
Female Boss Incorporated here with CEO, author, clothing designer, philanthropist, soon-to-be children's toy line, reality TV star, wife, mother, the beautiful Lisa Nicole. Did I leave any titles out?
You got it all. Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
We're glad to have you. We're glad to have you. The introduction to just your name alone is extremely impressive. Do you ever, before we get started, do you ever just sit back and reflect on how many businesses you have, and can you believe you have that many fires going at the same time?
Every day I wake up and I just thank God for allowing me to wake up to another beautiful day. I always live with an attitude of gratitude. But when I reflect on all the things that are going on, what I really feel is blessed.
Yeah.
You know, I feel blessed to be a mother. I feel blessed to be a great wife. I feel blessed to be a successful businesswoman. And everything I do is, I love it. So it doesn't really feel like work. I love empowering people. I love inspiring women through the WIN conference. I love helping entrepreneurs start their own businesses through the 5 Links Direct Sales. I love being a mother, so working on the children's line with my daughter has just been an opportunity for us to spend quality time together. And of course, you know, fashion as a successful businesswoman, dressing for success is very important. So these are things that I just do on a daily basis, and I love entrepreneurship. So when you can turn your passion into profit, it's a double win.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, let me just say, me being an entrepreneur, you are a major inspiration to me. You know, following your career and your accomplishments and, you know, your success, you're a major inspiration to me, and I'm sure millions of other girls out there. So we definitely thank you.
Thank you.
Well, let's just dive in. Tell us, how did you actually begin your entrepreneur journey? For those that don't know, just a breakdown.
Well, like most people, I went the traditional path. You know, I went to school, I graduated from Emory University. I went on to get a job in corporate America. I had the quote-unquote good job, made a decent salary, but it still wasn't enough. And most importantly, at the end of the day, I just didn't feel fulfilled. I felt very empty. I didn't feel like I was doing what God had put me on this earth to do. So I knew that deep within me, more than being an employee, was a passion to be an entrepreneur. So when I learned of direct sales, that was really how I entered into the world of entrepreneurship. Because like a lot of Americans, I didn't have a lot of capital. I didn't have a lot of expertise. I didn't know what I wanted to do as far as starting a business. So the direct sales industry made it very easy for me to enter into entrepreneurship. And I started working it on a very part-time, spare-time basis. And it just took off. You know, I made my first million in my mid-30s through direct sales.
That's amazing, by the way. That's amazing.
And then I realized that I had a passion for helping other people to do the same thing. And I went on to teach a lot of other people how to be successful in direct sales. Today I have about 200,000 representatives around the world that are entrepreneurs in the direct sales industry. So,
that is amazing.
Thank you.
The fashion industry is thriving right now. As women, we all love fashion, want to look our best. You know, what made you dive into the Lisa Nicole collection as opposed to opening a boutique? Because we are sitting here in your lovely, gorgeous boutique. Instead of selling other people's garments, what made you decide to actually start the Lisa Nicole collection?
Well, I have always believed that dressing for success is very important. I believe that first impressions are lasting impressions.
Right.
And people do business with people that look successful. As a businesswoman, however, I sometimes found it challenging to find clothes that everybody else didn't already have on.
Right.
You know,
everybody's making the same garment.
Right.
Yeah.
And not just that, if you buy off the rack, even if you buy in a very exclusive boutique, you run a risk of someone wearing your garment.
Right.
And so one time I was speaking in Madison Square Gardens with Russell Simmons, and I came out in an outfit that I just loved. I knew I looked great. The problem was one of my colleagues had on the same dress.
Oh no.
And here we had bought a very expensive dress from a very exclusive boutique, but yet we were wearing the same outfit. And so at that point, I said, this is never going to happen to me again. And I started designing my own clothes, so I didn't have that happen again. And I loved it. I realized that I had a gift. And so I made a decision to pursue a clothing line and brand it Lisa Nicole. And you know, I didn't have a lot of experience in fashion, but I have a lot of experience in business. I have a great fashion eye, and it was a natural gift to be able to come up with concepts and inspirations for garments.
So you do come up with the concepts for each garment?
Some of them I do. I have a team of designers, so it's not just me that submits inspiration for the collection, but I make all the final decisions as to which pieces make it into the collection and the creative direction of the collection.
That is awesome. So for a young woman out there that has a great idea for a clothing line and wants to start up her own, what would be your advice to her to actually begin the process?
I believe that success leaves clues. So rather than try to reinvent the wheel, find a line that you feel like it's going to represent the same type of clothing line you're trying to develop. You know, for me, I didn't reinvent the wheel. I studied designers like Donna Karan. Donna Karan was a huge inspiration. One thing that's unique about Donna Karan is she doesn't just have one line. She has different lines priced differently for a different consumer.
Right.
And so I really looked at a lot of case studies about her company, did a lot of research about the fashion industry. I have a great business partner, Dwight, because he's got years of experience.
We love Dwight.
Yes. He's got years of experience in fashion and beauty, so he had a lot of relationships. He really shortened my learning curve so that I could understand, you know, how to go out and source fabrics, you know, how to find the right manufacturer, you know, how to develop the sales team that's out marketing it to boutiques that are carrying the line. And so, you know, surrounding yourself with the right team, and also be a student. Don't reinvent the wheel, you know. And the one thing I can tell designers, as I look at all of the designers in this space, a lot of designers like to design couture. But of course, everybody can't afford couture.
Right.
And of course, it's not practical. Everybody doesn't buy a couture garment to wear every single day.
Right.
So I designed a line that was very practical, but also quality, and a line that there's a market for. So don't just design a designer piece and think that you're going to really build a huge empire just designing couture clothing, because it just doesn't work that way. You know, you have to know what your marketplace is.
Right.
And people want more for less.
Yeah, always.
That's the marketplace that we're in.
So let me ask you this, not in just clothing, but in any business that an entrepreneur wants to, you know, dive into, instead of completely depleting your savings, what do you feel is a good avenue to gain capital to support that, you know, business or company that you want to start?
That's a great question, because most businesses fail because they're undercapitalized. So I think it's a very important question to explore as an entrepreneur. If you don't have a lot of capital, then you've got to figure out a capital plan. You know, for me, I'm blessed because I leveraged the money that I made in direct sales and I invested into my other companies. If you haven't saved, then you've got to come up with a way in which to come up with the capital. It makes no sense to start a business that is going to be undercapitalized, so you're not going to be able to, you know, do the proper marketing or, you know, attend the proper events to be able to network and create customers and clients. So it's very important to plan before you start a business. I know a lot of people that have businesses, but sometimes when I mentor and coach them, I realize that they're playing business.
Yeah.
And what I mean playing business, I mean if your business does not have a solid business plan and you don't have a plan to achieve profitability, you don't know what your revenue streams are, you haven't really dissected, you know, who your clients are, you aren't coming up with innovative ways to create additional revenue streams, then you're playing business. Business is about being profitable.
Right. Awesome. Well, now tell us a little bit about the win conference, and that's your baby, right?
WIN is my baby.
Yes, we got a chance to see a little bit of it on the reality show Married to Medicine. But tell us, for those who haven't seen it, tell us a little bit about the WIN. Is it a network?
The WIN conference is the annual conference for an organization that I founded called the Women's Empowerment Network.
Okay.
And the Women's Empowerment Network is an organization that we bring women together from all different backgrounds, and we provide them with content to help them grow personally, professionally, financially, and spiritually. It is an organization that believes in sisterhood. It believes in collaboration versus competition. I really felt like as I look in the media, the media creates a lot of stereotypes for women. And a lot of the messages out there are that women can't get along, women are always fighting, women are catty. And that just wasn't the group of women that I was associated with.
Right.
And so I really wanted to create an environment where women who embrace sisterhood, women who embrace collaboration, women who want to be empowered and inspired and motivated and who want to grow to new levels of success, that they can plug into the events that we do. Of course, you saw the annual conference that we do once a year. Mm-hmm. But there's been such an interest in WIN that in 2015 we'll be touring the WIN conference and doing one-day events in different cities around the nation to give people a taste of what they would get at the annual conference.
And that would be available to the general public, or?
It is.
Okay.
WIN doesn't have a membership base, we are going to work on one, because one thing that women often say when they contact me is, can you mentor me? I need a mentor. And yes, I do have a mentoring program, but it costs. And a lot of women can't afford to necessarily pay for a business coach. So I want to create an opportunity for women to get that professional coaching by way of monthly webinars and teleseminars where it's affordable for them to do so. So that is the subscription that we'll be rolling out in 2015, and I will have speakers from all different backgrounds that again cover content around personal growth, professional growth, financial growth, spiritual growth, but it'll be a way for women to get the information at an affordable price, because you always need someone that's going to hold you accountable, someone that's going to push you to peak performance.
Yeah. We love it. Female Boss Incorporated definitely will be in the building at the next conference. Now just touch on a little bit about the toy line. We understand that you have a new toy line coming out with your daughter. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, my daughter and I are working on a toy line. It's called Princess Amira. Of course, my little girl, her name is Amira, and Amira means princess. And I believe every little girl should know her worth and know her value. And it starts very early, instilling that kind of information into her. And so one of the things my daughter and I started working on was writing a book together so that we could spend quality time. Mm-hmm. We started working on a mother-daughter book. And as a result of it, I realized it was just a great opportunity for us to spend quality time. And so my kids always like to play business. Mm-hmm. They come to my store, Amira's got on the headset, she's acting like she's serving clients here, she's asking them, would you like a glass of wine? She thinks like an entrepreneur, and so I wanted to encourage her to start a business. And so when we sat down, I said, well, what would you like to do to start a business? And she said, I want to develop toys. And so I said, well, what goes with the Princess Amira theme? Mm-hmm. And that's when we decided to do a tea set, because she likes tea parties.
Okay.
And whenever I do tea parties, I was finding it difficult to find a porcelain or ceramic tea set. They don't sell them anymore. Every little girl's tea set is plastic.
Okay.
And so this is a nice tea set that we're going to be, we're working on some licensing deals now for that. And also a doll. She has a doll coming out. So, and it's just all about her understanding. I teach my kids now that wealthy people, they don't work for other people. Right. They work for themselves. And while I want you to get a good education, I also want you to really think about what it is you want to own.
Now tell us, what is the most satisfying thing to you about being an entrepreneur?
The most satisfying thing about being an entrepreneur is that I am my own boss. I do what I want to do, when I want to do it, because I want to do it. And I really believe that I live life on my own terms. And I always tell clients, if you don't design your life, someone else will.
Right.
And that someone else might be a boss that thinks you deserve 1% merit increase every year.
Right.
You know? And so, you know, I love entrepreneurship. If I could start 15 businesses, I would, because I like birthing ideas and bringing them to life and then growing them to a place where the passion becomes profitable. So that's what I love about entrepreneurship. You birth it, it's an idea, it's a concept, and then you bring it to life and then you grow it to a place where it's profitable.
And for people that think, you know, being an entrepreneur means you don't have to work long, hard hours and it's kind of, you just do whatever you want to do. It does take a lot of work.
That is a misconception.
Right.
If you think that being an entrepreneur is easy,
right,
that's completely false.
Absolutely. How many hours a day would you say that you are working on your company? From sun up to sundown? What's your typical work day?
If you ask my staff, they will tell you I don't sleep.
Okay, they did tell me that.
They think I'm a machine, and you know, I don't really turn off. You know, because when you run a company, you know, if you don't make it successful, then no one else will.
Right.
And so I do work a lot, but I do also try to strike a balance, because at the end of the day, if you make all these sacrifices and you sacrifice your relationships with your husband or with your kids, you know, it's just not worth it. So I do try to balance it, but what I usually do is I go to sleep when I'm tired, and I get up when I'm tired of sleeping.
Absolutely.
So it does not feel like work, because I'm doing what I love, and when I'm ready to rest, I let my body rest.
Absolutely, that's awesome.
But working as an entrepreneur is probably one of the hardest things you'll do. You know, you have to be someone who's self-motivated. You have to be someone that's not afraid of hard work, because it requires an extremely high level of work ethic. And then you also just have to be someone who's a student and who wants to learn how to be successful, a student of success, a student of business strategies, you know, so.
Okay, well, last couple questions. Tell us, will you be returning to Married to Medicine this season? We love you on the show.
I told you I'd have to kill you.
We love you on the show. You bring a total different element to what, you know, we were used to seeing the very first season. So will you think you will be returning to the show?
I will possibly be returning. We are in negotiations now. I love the Married to Medicine cast of women. I think that Married to Medicine is one of the only shows in the reality TV space that are really sharing the lives of professional women, women who are wives, women who are mothers.
It may be the only show that's out like that I can think of, actually.
Right. Yeah, it's, for me, you know, in a environment where there's so much negativity, I think reality TV has got to create a balance, and that's what I feel like I brought to the show. You know, you have a cast of professional women, all different personalities. I try to be, you know, the voice of reason sometimes, to try to be a positive example on reality TV, so it's not all drama. I mean, surely every woman has that side of her that can go there, but, you know, every woman also knows what it means to be a lady and to conduct yourself accordingly. And so that's what I try to be on the show. You know, I try to be a positive example. Some people like to say I'm the boring girl, but if boring means being positive and being empowering, then I'll just be the boring girl all day long. You know, positive is the new boring, I guess. You know, the new normal.
Absolutely. Okay, now tell us one thing that your fans don't know about you, that they can't read about you, that you either love doing in your spare time, or just something the average person doesn't know. They can't look it up online and, you know, figure out about Lisa Nicole.
Lisa Nicole, I really love quality family time, and I really love to laugh. And if you catch me in one of my silly moments, I love playing practical jokes on people. I love practical jokes. So beware, because you know, you never know, you might might catch you one day. So I love laughing though. I think laughter is food for the soul.
Yeah.
And so I like to have fun. I'm not the party girl, I'm not the wild party girl, but I am the girl that loves to laugh, that loves to play games, you know, play cards, you know, down home. You know, and you know, I'm a regular person. You know, despite all of the success that I've had, I think one of the greatest qualities that most people will find in me is that I'm down to earth and that I'm pretty humble.
Great. Well, we thank you for doing this interview with Female Boss Incorporated. We love the fact that you're positive. We love you're a boss at everything that you do, and you're working it. And you know, you're, like I said earlier, you're a major inspiration. Even if you don't know it, you know, you're reaching people that you would have never thought, you know, are watching you on a daily basis and following your career and your accomplishments. So, congrats to you.
I always tell people, this is my mantra. This is how I live my life. Live your dreams. You know. Close your eyes, get still, think about what you want your life to be. Live in bold color. You know, if you want to drive the Maserati, you want to live in the fabulous home, you want to be your own boss, run multiple businesses, live it, dream it in your mind over and over and over again, because what the mind can first believe and conceive, it will achieve. And so I always tell people, live your dreams. It's possible.